Hi everyone, welcome to the class once again. I hope you're all doing good and in the best of your health. So after completing the theoretical part of this chapter, electric charges and fields, let's practice some question based upon the pattern of question asked in CBSE examination, that is in your board examination. The questions are generally of 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, 4 marks and 5 marks asked in your regular examinations. So let's continue with some questions based upon the pattern which has been asked in the CBSE examination. Now let's go ahead with the first question of the day. We have the first question, it's a 1 mark question. Two equal balls having equal positive charge Q coulombs are suspended by two insulating strings of equal length. What would be the effect of the force on when a plastic sheet is inserted between the two? Now this is insulating, not insulting, so don't get confused. It's insulating strings of equal length. Now, it's a very simple question. It has asked what is the effect of force acting between two charges. So the case will be something like this. We have two insulating strings and two balls which are carrying charges. You see the charges, those are Q coulombs on each of them. So if I mark this Q, let's say initially the space between them is vacuum, so the force acting between them will be when it's vacuum. So I'm marking its F naught, it will be given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. All symbols have their usual meaning. R is the separation between the charges. Now after this, we all know that this force acts whenever there is no space, it's vacuum. Now suppose if any medium is brought between the charges, as we have discussed in our class, if for any medium, if any medium exists, if any medium comes in between the charges, the force is given by 1 upon 4 pi K epsilon naught. Why K? K is the dielectric constant of the medium. If I insert a medium like say plastic between the charges, I'll be using a dielectric constant. I will divide the force, original force, with dielectric constant K of the medium, and I will write the rest of the equation as it is, Q into Q by R square. It's very simple. We find that this final force F is equal to F naught by K, that is force reduces by a factor K. So just a simple line will be the answer. It reduces by a factor K. So that's why we have divided by K to get the new force that is acting between the charges. So what we got the force is reduced. Very simple question, and if you know that what happens when a medium comes in between, you simply apply this concept and you get the net result. It gets reduced. Very simple 1 mark question. So the question will be not too tough. Let's go ahead with the next question of the class. And next question we have, draw a plot showing the variation of electric field with distance r due to a point charge q. Very simple, it's a 1 mark question again, and very simple to draw this variation of electric field due to a point charge q. First of all, distance r, point charge q. Let me give you the formula to express the electric field due to a point charge. It's given by E equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square, and since I have mentioned a vector sign, I'll be using R cap. For a positive charge we are discussing, the electric field will be away from the positive charge. You see that this is an equation where inverse of square of the distance shows the variation of electric field with the distance. So I can write that electric field is proportional to 1 upon R square. All the terms are constant. We can write E is equal to K by R square, where K is rest all the constant I have used. Now very simple, let me show you the variation of field with respect to distance R. So if R increases, field has to reduce, and it's an inverse square law that should hold. So I'm mentioning electric field on the y axis and distance R on the x axis. Since we are talking only about the magnitude, so let me use only a simple scalar representation for electric field. So it will vary in this sense, it's an inverse square law. So field value decreases as R increases, field value decreases, and it will be very high when the field you are trying to estimate near to the charge. Simple question, let's not take more time on this. This shows the variation of field with respect to the distance. Let's go ahead with the next question of the class. Now 3 to 5 we have 2 marks. So again the new kind of question, 2 marks question, a bit difficulty level higher than the 1 mark question. Third question, an electric dipole is placed in a uniform electric field E with its dipole moment P parallel to the field. I believe that the scenario is clear to you all. So dipole is placed in electric field E and the dipole axis should be parallel to the field. So I am going to place the dipole in this sense, 2 charges minus q plus q. We all know that the dipole moment direction is always minus charge to plus charge. This will be the sense of dipole moment. With its dipole moment P parallel to the field, find the work done in turning the dipole till its dipole moment points in the direction opposite to E. That is, we have to rotate it. Initially the dipole moment direction is along the direction of electric field. Now if I rotate it and if I turn it just through 180 degree, I will be getting the work done. I will be evaluating the work done, how much work is done in rotating this. Now for this we all know that torque acting on a dipole is given as P cross E. P cross E is the torque acting on the dipole. So if I write small work done in rotating, that will be tau d theta, and I can write total work done as integration of dw, and this will come out to be P cross E can be written as, let me write the vector notation, Pe sin theta, and now let me rotate it through 0 to pi. So I will be getting integration of dw will be Pe sin theta, and after this work done is tau d theta. So I have used here tau and d theta here, and now let me put up the limits also. Limits will be, let us say 0 to pi, and work done I will be obtaining here. Now for this one, P sin theta, if I integrate, sin theta integration gives you minus cos theta. So Pe you can take it out, minus cos theta 0 to pi. Simply put up all the values, you will get the required result. This will come out to be 2 Pe. You can check the values, you will get in this way 2 Pe. This is the value of work done which we have just obtained, 2 Pe. P value is Q into the separation. We are not considered about all this. P is the thing that was required. E is the value of electric field that's required. So we have given the answer in this term. So if you have to rotate it, this will be the value of the work done in terms of P and E. Next thing, the orientation of the dipole for which the torque acting on it becomes maximum. Torque should be maximum. What is torque? Torque is Pe sin theta. That means theta has to be, sin theta should be maximum. You can just check from this, sin theta has to be maximum, and then sin theta is maximum when the angle theta will be pi by 2. So if theta is pi by 2, torque will be maximum. So let me just mention here, torque is Pe sin theta. So let me just put here, torque is equal to Pe sin pi by 2 at angle pi by 2. So you will get maximum, that is Pe. So at pi by 2 angle, an angle which we are measuring, that we are measuring from the line of electric field. So you can easily evaluate that this is the case when the dipole is oriented along this direction. Torque will be maximum, and it will try to bring the this dipole in the original stable configuration. So this is the case, this is the orientation of the dipole when the torque acting is maximum at an angle pi by 2, because we are measuring the angle along the sense of electric field. So this was all about torque. Let's go to the next question. Let me clear the board. Next question of the class, we have again 2 marks question. A small metal sphere carrying a charge plus q is located at the center of a spherical cavity. So we have a spherical cavity, here a charge is located in a large uncharged metallic spherical shell. it's a large uncharged metallic spherical shell. You can see here, this is the uncharged metallic spherical shell. Write the charges on the inner and outer surfaces of the shell. So we have to mention about the charges appearing here and here, inner and outer surfaces of the shell. Write the expression for the electric field at the point P1. Now we have discussed such kind of case in our regular class. It's a metallic shell, and I have told you all, first of all, charges, since it's a metallic shell, it will appear on the surface, and this is neutral. Due to charge induction, here automatically inside you will get minus q charge, and since it is neutral, here the charge induced will be plus q. So you can write down on the inner surface the charge induced will be minus q, on the outer surface the charge induced will be plus q. Next thing you see, write the expression for the electric field at the point P1. For the point P1, it's not too tough for us to understand. It's a point charge at a distance r1 located from point P. So it's very simple. To mention the electric field, you need to simply write in the formula E equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. That's it, we are done. If it's r1, we mention it as r1, and we are done. This is the value of electric field for the point charge q, which is placed at the center at a distance r1 from it. Next, let's not take more time on all these questions. Fifth one, figure shows two large metal plates P1 and P2 tightly held against each other and placed between two equal and unlike point charges perpendicular to line joining them. Two large plates P1 and P2, plus q is held here, minus q is held here, and these two plates are kept in between. What will happen to the plates when they are released? So try to understand what are the charges that will be induced on each of the surface. Let's try to understand. Plus q is here, minus q charge will be induced over here, plus q charge will be induced over here. And now you see about this plate, minus q charge is here, plus q charge will be induced over here, and minus q charge will be induced over here. Now try to understand the scenario, plus q minus q, equal and opposite charge. We are concerned with, since opposite nature charges are appearing on this part and on this part. So these both are going to attract each other. So they are going to be attracted towards each other. First case we got, they will be attracted towards each other, and they are going to come near to each other. Draw the pattern of the electric field lines for the system. If I have to draw the pattern of the field lines, you can see it's not too tough for us to draw this. I am drawing the two plates. Charges, you have already understood how it has appeared. Plus q is here, and here we have minus q. And now you see, if let me draw the field lines in between them. Drawn. Now here I had plus q charge, it was placed here, and minus q charge was placed here. Try to understand, plus q charge was here, and here we had minus q charge induced, since it's a point charge. So you have to draw very cautiously the field lines in this way. This is the sense of field lines. Now for minus q charge, you may just see, I am drawing the sense, it's minus q and here plus q. Field lines will be moving away, so let me show you that they are moving towards this point charge. I believe that this case is clear to you all. I have drawn here uniform field lines because plus q and minus q are actually placed on the plates, and here since a point charge and here I have a line charge, so that's why field lines are directed in this manner as I have shown you here. Next, you should take a record of all this. It will be very helpful for you all in answering questions. Next question comes 6th one and 6, 7, 8 are 3 marks question. 2 point charges plus q and minus 2q, different magnitude charges. are placed at the vertices B and C of an equilateral triangle ABC of side A as shown in figure. You can see here. Obtain the expression for the magnitude and the direction of the resultant electric field at the vertex A due to these two charges. Plus Q minus 2Q. You know the method, but the question would be simpler if the charges would be of same magnitude, but here the charges are of different magnitude. So I am just mentioning here plus Q point B and here minus 2Q point C, and here we have point A, where we have to evaluate the magnitude of electric field. First of all, you see the effect of field due to this charge plus Q. It will be along this line. Let me write this as E1, and electric field effect due to minus 2Q charge, it will be along this sense, and let me write this as E2. Equilateral triangle 60 degree, 60 degree, this will be automatically, it will be 120 degree. E1 value, if I write the value of E1, K Q by A square, E2 value will be K Q by, sorry, it will be 2Q because this charge on C is 2Q. Direction you have got the sense. Two vectors lying at an angle of 120 degree, both tails are joined. You can easily find the magnitude under root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So if I write the magnitude of resultant, vectorially you have to add. So if I add them, so the magnitude I will be obtaining of the net electric field this is how we can find the magnitude. Now simply you put up the values. See, first of all, k square, and from here also k square, so k I can take outside, not a problem, and then q square, and here also 2q square, so q square will be getting here q into 2q, so q square q I can write here. Now inside also you see here we are having a square, so everywhere again a square also common you can take outside. Now here you see you are having kq by a square, so this will be 1 plus, after this you see E2 whole square will give you 4 plus twice of, here you see E1 E2 cos 120. So here you will be getting 1 into 2, so 2, and cos 120. Cos 120 you can write it as cos pi minus 60, that will give you minus cos 60, that will come into minus 1 by 2. Evaluate 1 plus 4, 5 and minus 2, so root 3, you will be getting root 3. I hope that you can clearly see up till this end, that would be clear to you all, I believe that. Root 3 kq by a square. This is the value of magnitude, the first part we are done here. Root 3 kq by a square, this is the first part we are done. Next, in the direction of the resultant electric field. Direction, two vectors, their resultant, where it is directed. Again, it's not too tough to make it out. Let's say we all know that tan theta is equal to, or tan alpha, let me mention, the resultant angle, tan alpha is equal to b sin theta upon a plus b cos theta. If two vectors are making an angle theta with respect to each other. So two vectors E1 and E2 are there. Let's say this is vector A, if I mention this is vector B. So b sin theta, so b E2 value is given as, I have just rubbed, it was 2 kq by a square. So 2 kq by a square and sin 120. So let me mention here sin 120 upon a plus b cos theta. A is kq by a square plus B cos theta. B sin theta upon A plus B cos theta. What we have done? B sin theta upon A plus B cos theta. So we got this, and B we have taken this vector. So the angle which we will be getting angle with respect to this vector A. So let me put up all the values. I'm sorry, it's just a bit cold. KQ cancelled out, you will be getting an A square, you can cancel out, you will be getting 2 sin 120. Sin 120, again sin 120 is sin pi minus 60, it will get you sin 60 degree. Sin 60 is root 3 by 2 divided by 1 plus 2 into minus 1 by 2. This is what you are going to get. So this here you will be getting, I believe that there would be something which would be missing, because that's why we are getting some result that is not giving us the exact answer. What to do? Take note till here. Let me just refer to the question. Take note till here. So I believe that you have already calculated the angle. It was not too tough for us to make it out. See, if you see that this will nearly give you any number value root 3 divided by 0. So this is undefined. Tan of an angle that is undefined, so that alpha will be 90 degree. We know that tan 90 is undefined. What does that mean? That with respect to this even vector, the resultant is lying at an angle of 90 degree. So if I mention, it will be lying somewhere here. This is the E net, 90 degree with respect to this vector A which I have drawn. So resultant is lying at this, along this direction. Hope you have got how to evaluate this. And now let me proceed with the further part. Next question, question number 7. A positive point charge plus Q is kept in the vicinity of an uncharged conduction plate. Sketch electric field line originated from the point onto the surface of the plate. Not too tough for us to make it out. A positive point charge plus Q is placed in the vicinity of an uncharged conduction plate. So if I make it, this is the uncharged conduction plate. Okay. A positive point charge is kept in the vicinity of an uncharged conduction plate. Sketch electric field line originated from the point onto the surface of the plate. Let's say the charge is kept here. Already I have shown you here. Charges will be induced. Minus Q charge will be induced and plus Q charge will be induced here. So you have to draw field lines in this way. In between the charge plus Q and the plate, you have to show the field line variation in this way, because it's a point charge and yet the charges will be distributed all along the surface. So that's why I have drawn. Everywhere you have to mention that it comes along this sense as shown. This is the sense of electric field lines that will be actually oriented for this set of combination which I have shown you here. Next part. Question number 8, two charges plus Q and minus Q are kept at points minus x2 comma 0 and minus x1 comma 0. Plus Q and minus Q, you can see respectively in the xy plane. Find the magnitude and direction of the net electric field at the origin 0 comma 0. Not too tough, again simple vector addition of the field. Two charges plus Q and minus Q kept at point this minus x2 comma 0 and plus x1 comma 0. Let me show you the position. If I explicitly show you the position as origin, and at minus x2 comma 0 we have placed plus Q. So minus x2 comma 0 we have placed plus Q, and minus x1 comma 0 we have placed minus Q. Actually, just I will like you all that you may take this as plus x1 comma 0 and things will be simple. Take it as plus x1 comma 0. Things will, you can make also minus x1 comma 0 also, that will not be a big thing. And again the charges are placed as plus Q is here and minus Q is placed here. Now you see the field lines, electric field due to these two. It will be directed for plus q charge, it will be along this sense, E1 I am mentioning, and due to minus q charge again it will be along this sense, E2. Both are along the same direction, so simply you have to add them. E net will be equal to E1 plus E2, simply add them. E1, E2 easily can evaluate, not too tough. E1 you can see that it will be plus q upon x2 whole square, so k plus q upon x2 whole square, and plus k, it's minus q, so minus q upon x1 whole square. We are done, not too tough. This is the resultant value of the electric field magnitude, and direction is again towards the minus q charge, because we have to evaluate the field at the origin. That's it. So you can just simply check and you got the value of net electric field directed along this sense. Easy. And these simple questions, if you know the concepts, you can proceed, you can gain marks quite easily. Four marks question. After 3 marks, we have 4 mark question. Question number 9. An electric dipole is kept in uniform electric field. Derive an expression for the net torque acting on it and write its direction. State the condition under which the dipole is in stable equilibrium and unstable equilibrium. Torque derivation we have done already in the regular class. Not too tough. We have already derived the how to evaluate the value of torque. And if you have missed it, I will just give you a quick recap. Field. Place the dipole as you want. If I place the dipole as shown here, let me place it here. Minus q charge plus q charge. Let's say the center of dipole makes an angle theta with the direction of the electric field. We got this. Force acting on this is F is equal to QE, where E is the value of electric field. Force acting on this is F is equal to QE. Dipole's length, let's say A is half length, so this A will be half length. Force acting we got that as QE, and the torque due to each of the force can you easily evaluate. We have already done this in our regular class. Torque due to this force, torque due to this force. If you recall it, we can add it, both will be along the same direction. If you can just check R cross F or A vector R cross F, torque is along this sense, and for this one torque you see R cross F. I believe that the thing you are getting when I am moving my fingers, curling my fingers, what I am talking about. I am talking about the torque evaluation due to this force that I have shown you. R will be the vector from the center to this point of application of force, this R vector. So I am showing R cross F, both sense of torque along the same sense. You can directly add R cross F, that will give you RF sine theta and plus RF sine theta. So you will be getting net torque as, you can simply add as, and R cross F I have used A, so 2AF. I am writing some things directly that you have to make it out because you have already seen it in class. 2AF sine theta, and F is QE, so 2A QE sine theta, and from here 2AQ, that is P, PE sine theta or P cross E. This is the value of torque, P cross E, which we have already derived also, not too big thing. State the conditions and write its direction. Torque direction, see, first of all understand the sense of rotation is along this. When I go, when I see, it's the direction is into the plane of the board, and its sense of rotation, it will be clockwise. Here also you can see the sense of rotation is clockwise, the direction is going into the plane of the board. So direction you have to give into the plane of the board. When you write in copy, into the plane of paper. State the conditions under which the dipole is in stable equilibrium. stable equilibrium, unstable equilibrium, if I talk about, and I hope that you are remembering all these points, when angle will be 0, understand, when angle is 0, then you are going to get torque is 0. So, when this angle theta is 0, torque will be 0. And now you just try to understand for unstable equilibrium, when you are going to increase the angle, torque is going to increase, and when theta becomes pi, because I am measuring the angle theta with respect to the dipole moment direction. So, this is the case of, first of all, stable equilibrium, and for theta is equal to pi, you see torque will come out to be minus Pe. That is what you are going to get, sorry, sine 180, you are going to get this as torque Pe, that is what you are going to get, Pe sine 180, and then we are also evaluating this equilibrium case I have told you with respect to the potential energy. Try to understand, if you can recall, this is potential energy, and potential energy will be maximum in the case when you are going to rotate it with 180 degree. So, in that case, your case will be of unstable equilibrium. Why unstable? Because although torque, you might see that torque will come out to be 0, because sine 180 is 0, torque will come out to be 0, but you have to understand, if slight disturbance is given, it will automatically be rotated along the stable equilibrium sense, because the potential energy is maximum in the case when the angle is 180 degree. You may write down that point which I have just mentioned here, potential energy case that I have mentioned here. So, at theta equals to pi, it is a case of unstable equilibrium. And this about equilibrium cases we have discussed in our class. So, do not go for the torque calculation that torque should be maximum, minimum, 0, or 0 will be the case in both the cases, but potential energy is the thing that we need to consider. Question number 10, the last question of the chapter for discussion. Derive an expression for the electric field E due to a dipole of length 12 at a point distance r from the center of the dipole on the axial line. First part, it is a 5-mark question, 3 parts are there. See, for this derivation, I am not going to invest more time, because I believe that we have done this in class. It is a derivation, this question has been put up so that you may have the idea that such questions can come. Let us say we have to find out the value of field somewhere at this point A due to this dipole at a distance L from the center of the dipole. Minus q charge here, plus q charge here. The distance will be r plus L from minus q charge, and the distance will be from this part, it will be L minus r. You can just check it. Find out the value of electric field due to this charge, find out the value of electric field due to this charge, and add them. You see, due to this charge, field will be directed towards this. I am mentioning as E1. Due to this charge, it will be directed along this sense. E2, net electric field will come out to be vectorial addition of both the two, or magnitude wise it will be E1 minus E2. I believe that from here you can do it. So, I should not proceed with more part. KQ upon L minus R whole square minus KQ upon L plus R whole square. Further proceed from here, KQ L minus R whole square, L plus R whole square will give you L square minus R square whole square, and this you will get, KQ have taken outside, L square and R square, L square and R square will cancel out, you will be getting 4 LR. I already have did, although I was saying that I won't be doing this, already have did, and further part you can check with the calculation. I hope that you can do that, and draw a graph of E versus R for R far greater than A. Okay, I have taken some other variables here, they have taken for of length 12. just variables are different. This length was 2L and this length was given as A. So I will just make it in that sense as it is given. This is L and this length was actually A. So this will be A plus L. I have just used my notations just, and this was A minus L. So you can put up the values in this way. Instead of here you can put A minus L, and here you can put A plus L, not a big thing. A square minus L square whole square, and this will be 4AL. From here you can simply make out that L, if you see L into Q and into 2A will give you P. So this will be 2KP divided by A square minus L square whole square. 4, I have clubbed L into Q, 2L into Q, and here I will be having one A also. This is the value of field. Now when R is far greater than A, okay, again it's R and I have mentioned it as L. So now I am not going to rub, you have to just switch here that whenever this length is given as R, not A, it's R. I have used here A, you have to just check here R, I have used simply, instead of R I have used A. That's it. Now when R is far greater than A, so for that case you have to see that the distance is far greater. So for it, it's not too tough, you have to simply ignore this L will be very small, because some conversions that I have not used directly as per given in the board. R I have used A, and A was actually the half length that I have used as L. So you have to make these small conversions. That is the thing that you need to take care. Very simple thing. So this will turn out to be, electric field will come out to be, this will be 2Kp divided by A cube. You will be getting this. See the conversion of the length, that not too big. If this dipole is kept in uniform external electric field E naught, diagrammatically represent the position of the dipole in the stable and unstable equilibrium and write the expression for the torque acting on the dipole in both the cases. Stable and unstable equilibrium just now I have talked about, and I will just show you the orientation how we can keep it. Field, just now I have talked about stable equilibrium. When the dipole is in this sense, stable equilibrium, the dipole moment is along the value of field. This is stable and unstable, and for the reasons, if you have seen my classes of the dipole, you would be having the idea. This is dipole moment is in the opposite sense. So this is the case of unstable equilibrium. In both the cases, torque will be 0. Torque goes to P cross E, P sin theta, sin 0, sin 180, both are 0. So in both the cases, torque will be 0. So this was all about the 10 questions we have discussed upon this chapter, electric charges and field. Hope you find it useful, and hope you are going to practice more questions based upon your CBSE board exam. Do it, it will be of much use to you all. So I wish you all the very best, and thank you everyone for joining me here.